Let's fucking go.
Woo!
Whoa, straight to the mouth.
We're not pouring today.
No glass, huh?
No, we're going full 16 ounce.
Pounders. Love
Wild
it.
West over there.
Eric's
Mine looks
a
a lot-
rule follower, you can tell.
Mine looks a lot more orange. I just got respect for the craft, you know?
What do you got? Yeah, right? Drink this reserve.
I'm a big respecter. All right, cheers,
too much.
everybody.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Good to see you guys.
This one could be hit or miss.
That was perfect. What do you got, Berg?
Well, just for my warm up, I went with a non-alcoholic from Firestone Walker. Not sure if Brent or Mikey have tried this one.
Oh, how
I've
was that?
had some of their actual beer.
It's a non-alcoholic blonde ale. It's not terrible, but it's not better than I expected. I just need to give my liver a break. It's probably like hemorrhaging right now.
Is that the reason? I
Yeah,
was like, what's the point of having one?
had a big weekend. I'm still feeling a buzz from last night. So
Cheers to that.
I poured it in my Mount Fuji Japan glass
Oh, that's awesome.
Sweet.
Cool.
that Mark Davis gave me.
That's awesome.
Dude, I want one of those.
He didn't give you one,
I
man?
need that.
Oh, did he give it to you on this trip?
The heck? No, the first time I went out there, I thought it was like a tradition, you know? And
Jesus.
I'll
Well,
have to go back out.
I guess so. I guess so.
Are you breaking that cup in for the first time, or do you have something in there before?
no, yeah. It's a clean glass. It actually had dust on it because I haven't used it in a while, so I had to wash it off.
Well, special occasion. Nice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Sick. All right. What else? What are you drinking, Jimmy?
So this is a new one for me. It's Fidens, surprise, surprise. But this one is Fear is the Thief.
Cool name.
It's pretty tasty so far. It's 8% Mosaic, Raquel, Galaxy, and Citra. And it's pretty smooth too. On top of all that, it's got a little bit of a punch, from the Citra there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far so good.
Solid. What you got, Eric?
We're going for a Johnny's IPA in a can, straight can, 16. Nothing fancy.
Straight to the Weka.
Yeah,
Love it.
Yeah, that's Moab Brewing.
little Moab breweries. Yeah, they're for our Utah people. These are pretty basic. Find them everywhere. But for those East Coasters, yeah,
Get the job done.
they get the job done. That was a funny little story, though. I was going to go get something like from the microbrew or get a special beer for this. And then I get a text from Eric last night, or a message like, hey, I think we're canceling. And I'm like, oh, cool. I don't know if I have time to go get the beer anyway. And then, no, message, we're back on. And I was like, oh, sweet. So, yeah, let me run and grab some Johnny's IPA. Didn't have any other microbrews in the house, so
People have drank worse, so.
Johnny's it is. You know, it's one step above non-alcoholic beer, so.
I'll give you that. I wanted to set the bar right now.
Yeah, we're one step up at a time.
DC.
Anything, Brent?
Well, yeah, you're going to be in for some more disappointment here. I got
no.
Hazy Prophets IPA non-alcoholic from Go Brewing.
Dude, that one is so good.
Yeah, it is. I thought I was out, but this was way in the back of the fridge. Yeah,
Nice.
But this is a good beer.
Yeah.
This is the only NA brewery I know that actually lists its hops.
Yeah.
It has Cryo Brew 1 and Idaho 7 hops.
Yeah.
It's definitely
Maybe-
the best ones I've had from Go.
Maybe it was in the back of the fridge long enough that it aged a little and actually is like a one percenter now, you know?
From 0.5 to 1.
The can swells up a little bit, and you're like,
Yeah.
it's time to drink it.
I have a Guinness NA in there that a friend gave me, and I really don't like them. So it's like I think I might have one more something. Okay. So this is clearly the choice.
So I'm keeping it local. Foley Brothers Prospect Imperial IPA. Normally a pretty good choice, but since I don't really drink anymore, this one is aged. October. Tastes about like what you'd expect.
Well, James, cheers. Cheers to us. Putting some minimal effort in.
Glad there's some adults in the room. Jesus Christ.
Somebody was
Don't worry, I'll pull my weight.
All right. You got the cold glass, so you get extra point there. So
yeah.
We'll keep track here.
Well, it's good to see you again, Eric. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, likewise.
You kind of fell off my radar, at least for a couple of years. No texts, no reaching out, no invites.
No hangouts.
Didn't know what happened to you for a while.
Moving around, life stuff.
Yeah. So now you're back in Utah. You said you're in Escalante, like the town of Escalante, or like Kanab, like around the monument?
No, living in Escalante, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, been kind of a hectic last week moving here. I was down in Springdale and Zion for the past year before that, though.
Okay.
So, yeah, been in Utah, but have been, kind of quiet on the sharing front and photography front for a little while. So.
Well, yeah, I think it was Alex Jones that shared one of your images. And I was like, I didn't even know Eric was back on Instagram. Like, what's his account? And that's when I went and like requested to follow you again. Because if it wasn't for that, I had no idea that you were sharing your work or anything. Or
I had no idea. I was like, oh, shit. It's good to see you back.
Oh,
yeah, definitely.
No, thank you. Yeah, it was, not to go too deep into things, but just needed to step away for a little while and definitely take a photography break, which was an interesting time to kind of, you get a fresh look at your own work. You get a fresh look at everyone else's work. You get a fresh look at the whole craft of photography, which is incredible. So,
nice.
Meanwhile, living in Zion, so it's not that bad. So,
yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah, when I was looking through your portfolio on Instagram, like your brand new feed that you've done on your new account is like super well curated and everything was super cohesive. And I really enjoyed just looking through everything and catching up and seeing some classics as well that I recognize. But
no, thanks. That was also part of the intention of resharing and reposting, because nothing really was new other than some White Sands work. But just kind of re-looking at it and identifying something that we look for in our own work, some sort of style or essence or brand, or what is it about us that so just spending time with that and kind of coming up with images that I thought looked like that. So
knowing you as a friend, I feel like you're super thoughtful and intentional with everything you do, like especially photography. Like you don't half-ass it, and you're very adamant about like creating work that's meaningful to you personally and never trying to cater to others or anything like that. And I've always respected that. So I'm curious to hear like, what is the point of kind of like what happened where you just wanted to like delete your account and then make a new one? And like, I feel like you've done that several times. Like what's kind of your thought process behind that? Cause I feel like a lot of people might just erase all their posts and just maybe change their name, but not like, start all over with a brand new account and no followers or.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't recommend it. But no, at one point I did, it was a while ago, probably before I knew any of you guys. There was, I don't know, photography at that time, it was right in the midst of digital photography and it was changing, and, 2015-ish, everyone's kind of coming on the scene, and I was doing work that was more editorial and commercial oriented, and it just really wasn't what I was interested in. And so I got rid of an account there. But no, the more recent things, I would say, to put it lightly, I mean, like mental health issue. Sometimes like it just kind of forces you to relook at everything, and I don't know, hard to explain.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was a few situations in life, like went through some nasty stuff, and for a couple of years, like photography wasn't really that important to me. Being in nature was observing, looking at nature, looking at photography in general was inspiring. But for doing photography myself, like that was the lowest of my priorities. And I think when it kind of coming around and rediscovering like the things about photography that are important to me, that I do like, the parts that I respect from my peers, and kind of rebuilding from there. Yeah, it felt like a different voice or a different audience, different voice, different way to conduct myself. So yeah, felt like a time for a change. So I did that.
I hear you, dude.
And I don't have a ton of followers in the first place, so it wasn't like I was losing anything. I felt like I was just more reconnecting and connecting with the people that I wanted to connect with.
Yeah.
I think it's like interesting. Like sometimes you'll hear people, I'm blanking on the guy's name. He's a Scottish guy, Alistair Ben. Like he talks about like, mental health stuff and how like he used like photography and like, that kind of helped him like ground himself and like kind of get through some like dark times and stuff. But like, I'm kind of like you, like anytime that I've been like not in the best place, like whatever, like personal stuff or like work stuff, it's like photography. It's like the last thing I can think of doing. Like it just doesn't line up, or it's just strange that other people like seem to put out more work in those, it's kind of interesting. I think it kind of speaks to individual approaches.
I can see how photography can be therapeutic because that's definitely the role that it plays for me. Like right now, I'm just kind of like being in Tokyo and then spending the weekend in Portland. Like I'm just kind of saturated from being around people and cities and shit. And I just like want to go camping so bad. And I'm going out next weekend. And so it's very therapeutic, but I also never make anything good when I'm in a bad mood. Like I need to be feeling it and feel connected and like feel inspired and like happy. Like,
yeah. I was talking to someone about that recently too, about kind of that mindset and why I want to be creating in nature, because, being in nature, it's calming, it's relaxing, but flipping that switch of like something to express, something to share, something to, then create, like that comes from a happier place for me, like somewhat more relaxed and somewhat happier, lighter. It doesn't come from like, letting some of that stuff go. That's when just being in nature is enough, and photography is only too much. So So I think basic answer to your question there, just needed some time to kind of work through that. And as I kind of realigned, found a different voice, and moving on.
Did you keep going out in nature even during the photography break?
For sure. Yeah. Almost every single day.
That's
actually,
cool.
Probably even more.
Respect that.
It still, continues today. So
Yeah.
Glad you made it to the other side. It seems like a prairie fire, like burning away stuff, and then what's left over is the good stuff.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and not to like trivialize it, but I think that resonates with all of us. Like, I think a lot of people watching this and stuff, like hearing what you're saying, it's not like a shock. It's, I think we all deal with stuff like that, mental health stuff to some degree, but
for sure. And photography plays an amazing role in whether it's preventing, whether it's just to keep back, whether it's like, you're looking forward to going camping next week, that's on your mind for the next 6 days of like, I can get through whatever shit this is, like, because you got that coming up, and it's going from a time of like creating work constantly and photographing constantly and being out constantly to then taking that other approach and like almost absorbing and like just being in nature was enough. It was, I think, it took some time just to realize and come to terms with that, being like, why do I not want to create right now? Like, no, I just want to be absorbing.
Yeah, not be like concerned about it or like worry.
Yeah, because it would also feel fake, and it would feel like how you said, like coming from a place where you weren't happy already, like everything would feel forced or like, I don't know, just not fun.
And I think a lot of
makes
people
you want to walk away fast.
Yeah.
It's just like go away.
I think most people would tend to view that as like a creative slump, but I've learned to see it like without that kind of weight to it. Like it's just a break. Like I just need some breathing room, and
yeah, that's interesting.
It's not always going to feel the same.
Yeah, kind of like a big wave, right? Like go with it when it's good, and
and if you stress about it, it just prolongs like whatever it is. You know, it just you put pressure on yourself. And,
yeah, 100%.
I stress about it. I get bummed out when I don't feel creative, but I think breaks are good. It just, for some reason, it's hard for me to do it.
Yeah, well, I think it is different too with your lifestyle where you have an actual job. Like I'm unemployed,
professionally unemployed, as TJ would say.
But, yeah.
Like I wouldn't say I take it for granted, but like it is just much more accessible. Like I don't need to make time to do it. Like that is my life. Like I need to make time for like life shit, like, you know, taking care of the kids, like being with the family. That is like the majority of my time goes towards that just naturally.
That's a good point.
So yeah, I feel like that definitely changes your view towards it. So how do you feel about photography right now, Eric?
Stoked.
Yeah.
I'm working on some personal project, and then I'm actually, I don't know. It's hard to like. A tough question to answer there. I would say like I feel excited about photography. I feel like I don't know. Did you ever feel that way when you were writing your book about like it's all just kind of like welled up inside of you, and you kind of like know it's kind of time to like get it out of you some way?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, like it's spending time in nature and being outside and being in the same element that I'm already in. Like, yeah, you feel like, okay, it's nice to be here, but there's more to say, there's more to ask, there's more to show, and I'm at that spot, and that's I think it's time to use a camera.
Yeah, that's kind of a vague question, but I mean, there's a more pointed question that could be even harder to answer. Like, what does photography mean to you right now? Like, how are you using it?
It's a cool balance to me is what it is. It's like, it's something, you know, when you're away from it for a little while, I think, you know, I look at something on social media and I see images from all three of you guys come up, and I'm like, holy shit, like any one of you are making incredible work at any given time on any given day. And I'm like, I find that when you're removed from that situation a little bit of like making photos all the time, I find that like super inspiring, because I know that like, yeah, like other peers are setting bars high, you know, they're continuing creating like individual interesting work. And I get inspired from seeing other photographers. I see, whether it's on social media or, you know, meeting people in person or wherever you meet photographers and such. But just to discover new work and seeing work on a feed constantly, like, yeah, it's uplifting, even to someone who makes images. And I think
for sure
that's something that, yeah, in photography, it's not just about like, look at what I did. It's like, no, look at what all these other cool people are making too, you know? So photography definitely takes that role in my life right now.
That's awesome. So apart from the wild nightlife there, what precipitated you moving to Escalante?
Mostly the nightlife. Change of pace, man. Tying on with a little bit of earlier, the Zion felt like a past life and felt like repeating same patterns and same things, and needed something just fresh, but in a way familiar, you know. And like, Escalante's been on my radar to be here. I mean, you guys all know this is where y'all come to photograph anyway. Like,
yeah,
guilty.
Not here in Tanksville, you know, which is right across the mountain over here.
Yeah.
Just to be in the epicenter, be in the mecca of everything I love about nature and landscape in Utah, and like, just, it doesn't get any more immersed than this. So had a chance to do it. And yeah.
And you just moved there. What are you anticipating your day-to-day will look like living there now?
Right now I'm working full time here, so a lot of that day is pretty structured. But
okay,
the goal with being here is, I've got like my own photography, but I'm setting up a different avenue with photography and different kind of workshop model and different workshop business. Started slowly rolling that out kind of at the end of this last year, and sharing it with a few other photography friends that I was working with to build it. But I'm looking forward to like getting that rolling it out and sharing that with the general audience. But it's more or less, I mean, I'm here, but it's not workshop based, like on location based. So working on building that business with photography and establishing it here. That's kind of my main goal.
Okay. What are you doing for work full time?
Working at one of the outfitters here in town. So kind of doing a lot of different things with them. They have restaurant, bakery, cafe, cabins, little property as well. So yeah, a little bit of everything.
Do they do like guided tours or anything, or?
Yeah, they have a couple. I don't think they do that much of them, but they do for some. But yeah. But no, we'll see. I mean, the point is just to be and have the stability here in Escalante and establish myself and be a photographer based out of Escalante, Utah, which is pretty damn special. So
yeah, I envy that for sure.
Look forward to seeing your stuff.
Thanks. Yeah.
If you want to make any. not to put any pressure on you.
If not, it's okay. You don't have to.
Well, tomorrow and the next day, like the next 2 days. So yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, what else does photography mean? I don't know. It's a way of life, man. It's like, it's more than, it's not just a hobby, right? Like none of us do this as a hobby. Like there's other hobbies. Like it's something that you're putting like a little more passion, your soul into. And that's another part of like being away from photography for a while. You realize that it's not just about going out and seeing something. It's about having that intent, like that you want to actually stop and spend time and explore that field of dead flowers, like maybe there's something cool, but that comes from a different place. It doesn't come from just like seeing something cool on the side of the road, right? Like,
yeah, beyond the visual aesthetics.
Yeah. Like I want to park the car. I want to get out there and walk around the field of dead grass,
Yeah.
Like, that takes a different mind space, and when you're removed from that for a little while, you forget that that's not normal. It's special to photography. It's special to that creative mindset of like, I want to create. I need like time to go create, not just see something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a difference there for sure.
Yeah,
when you're working like full time at something, a job or whatever, it's hard to find that time to do that.
Yeah,
that's really special though. I would never. There's so many things that I do now that I would have never done without a camera. Like you said, just walk. I was just in Death Valley, parked on the side of the road to nowhere in particular, and just started like walking and looking at dead plants and stuff. I did the exact same thing, and it was like twilight. I'm like, why would I ever do that unless something, a little magic box changed my brain into thinking that was cool. I think it's really neat.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in Death Valley, January, there was just one day where we were just like, doing our workshop, and we were driving back from the sunrise. We have to like drive across the park every day. And I was just like looking out the windows. And I'm like, I bet so many people come here because it's like a national park, and they get here and they're just like, this place is a shithole.
It's just brown.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of dirt, brown dirt.
Scrubby brush and stuff. Like,
where are all the things?
I tell people that about Death Valley all the time. I'm like, you really need to get into it. Like, if you just drive through on whatever that route is, you'll be like, why is this even a park? Like,
yeah.
Well, but that's the thing. Like, I look at it and it's all like very special feeling and like interesting and unique to me. But I just feel like to the untrained eye, like it's just all very uniform and bland looking. And
Yeah.
Well, this year is full of flowers, but
I know.
That just makes you sneeze. Okay. Yeah, my uncle famously, like, he drove through Acadia in like an hour and a half, hated it, and dipped. Like, what the hell? It's the most like amazing seascapes.
yeah, but that's also like something I've learned to appreciate a lot of it's because of photography. But like when you go to places like that, you're like, people are like, oh, there's nothing here. I'm like, yeah, that's the point. Like that's why it's awesome.
Exactly.
That's another aspect of it that should be appreciated, and it makes it special.
Yeah, and then finding, making the time to appreciate that stuff, not just like going to Death Valley and squeezing photography in and saying that it's special, but like, making some time to actually practice photography. And then, outside of that, actually, in your mind, like thinking like, I need to create something. I want to actually go to this place called Death Valley and go create something. That starts from somewhere inside from everyone. And it's, to have that as part of your life is special, because that you step away from that for a little while and it's very much not a thing for everyone, but for people involved in photography and like making something meaningful to them, it absolutely is like, special to have that with you.
Nice. We'll talk about it more later when we look at some of your stuff, but I think I found you, I don't know, probably around 2019-ish. But I connected with your work immediately when I first saw it, and I've loved it since then. And something that I really like about your work is every image of yours has a very strong feeling of like organicness. Like every image has this very organic quality to it. Like it doesn't feel contrived. Doesn't feel too perfectly aligned. It all feels like very serendipitous moments, like unexpected, just kind of reactive moments, which I really like because that's how I approach photography as well. But also just like the organic feeling they have is very prominent, and I really admire that because that's not. I wouldn't say that's super common in photography. Like a lot of stuff just feels like too tidy, too composed, a little too polished, just kind of inorganic in a way, even though it's pictures of nature, like real things, just the way it's presented feels kind of too geometric or like too human in a way. I don't know.
Yeah. No, thank you for saying that. That's, I try to approach each scene, when you're out there photographing or with the intent and walking around and looking, like I try to approach each scene individually. Like, you're walking along, something catches your eye. You kind of stop and take a closer look and maybe have an idea of like what it's trying to say to you or what it's doing to you, what it's making you feel. Yeah, just having, spending a little more time with each subject. And so I think when you do that, like maybe some of the authenticity in the subject comes out instead of just being like, oh yeah, I need to lower it down a little bit, because I'm going to crop here and I want space around all the corners, and like,
and the same amount of space on both sides and perfect symmetry. And
instead of letting like what the actual scene is saying, and maybe you got to position yourself. That's where it gets interesting, right? Like you got to hike way up and zoom in, or you got to like hike closer and zoom out. Maybe you got to use your legs and go up down cliffs a little bit. And like,
your work is like not formulaic at all either. Like I feel like a lot of photographers, it can just feel like they're just going to different places and taking the same photo. Your work is like completely the antithesis of that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. And I mean, like, I think we spent some time walking and photographing together, and, just, it was that same approach of like seeing what was catching our eye, and like some stuff you would stop at and photograph a little bit longer. Some stuff I would stop at and photograph, or at least look at it a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of going with that flow, waiting for things to catch your attention. Not like I'm not going to photograph something you're photographing because it didn't catch my attention. Right. Like,
right.
It caught my attention.
Like, if you were meant to find it, you would have noticed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel when I'm with other people and they shoot something that I really like and I feel jealous for a second. I'm like, well, that was their experience that they were meant to have. Otherwise, I would have, noticed it on my own as well. Or
Yeah, for sure. And then the minute you start with that, looking at those eyes, right across the field, you're like, oh, shit, look at those cottonwoods,
yeah,
Look at those amazing cottonwoods. Oh my gosh.
Good stuff.
cool. Did you want to say something, Brent? I feel like you're kind of.
I have like all these questions for Eric about his work, but
you can ask me anything, dude.
Oh, damn it.
Hey, also you have the we have the same spelling, and like today I got a coffee and they spelled it ERICK. Like I've never met an Eric with CK at the end, and
Psycho.
Definitely.
Yeah.
They're just hedging their bets. Be half right, like either way.
What about the K?
Yeah.
I feel like
ERIK, I think that's more common than ERIC. That's like the
Is it?
Scandinavian spelling, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never met a CK either.
Mm-mm.
I've met every other spelling, but yeah, I've never met CK. Not going to be me.
Well, anyway, I have plenty of questions about Eric Erlenbusch's work, but I figured I'd save him for when we look at his work.
not how he spells his name.
Just don't forget them.
All right.
After that, if you finish that beer.
Yeah, after every. Oh, you're drinking non-alcoholic, though.
Well, we decided it's at 1% now.
Yeah, it fermented a little bit. He's got
Okay. Yeah.
like
All right,
Nick Gold.
you picked out some nice stuff to share, Eric, so we'll start talking about this stuff.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I haven't seen this one from him.
I hadn't either,
Yeah.
surprisingly, because I'm a huge fan. I mean, we all are. We had him on the show a couple of years ago.
Oh,
His
nice.
work is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured he'd come across it if he hadn't already, but yeah, this one it's down on his Instagram feed a little ways, but not too. Yeah. Well, you guys, I mean, you already know who this guy is. I mean, his work's incredible, and Swedish guy, a little bit older, but everything is so. It's Eric, what you were saying about things in my work. These are things that I see in like these kind of images. It's not strictly graphical. Like there's details along the edges. There's definite positioning where he was positioned himself to align everything, and so it's like the graphical nature of these images, but with a little step of artistry. And the more you look at it, the more there is.
Yeah, I love how the water between the ice in the bottom half is darker than the ice in the top half, which is probably just naturally happening because the reflection is hitting differently. It's like reflecting a brighter part of the sky. But it's nice. That just fades off to like high key in the background, and the front is really contrasty.
Yeah.
I love the angles of the branches and how they interact with the angles of the ice in the background. I see like really organically geometrical kind of shapes and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, and that like more solid area where it's not broken is like right behind the crown of the tree where you have like it just frames it nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet he did that on purpose.
That's right. It looks like the ice is flowing too. So you change it up 30 seconds later, it's going to be totally
Yeah,
different.
it probably wasn't static. That's
Oh
good.
yeah.
Yeah, it could have been moving like horizontally, like conveyor belt background.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he just sits there and makes like a portfolio and doesn't even move the tripod. Like the
Yeah.
background just changes right in front of you.
Go grab a beer and come back and get 80
Yeah.
pictures.
Got a book done.
That's perfect. And then here's a whole new series. Look at this. That didn't even move.
His work is so good. Like I feel like every single image he posts is immaculate. Like so sick.
Yeah. And that's, one with
Very nice.
selecting this image. I mean, you can browse through his entire Instagram feed, or if you jump on his website too. Every image of his is like this as well. Like there's a lot to uncover in it.
He's all the stuff he shares is all monochrome. Is that right?
He has like a few color images every now and then.
Okay. That's
He'll post one.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did-
95%.
He's got more color work on his website, but a lot of everything on social is the monochrome.
And it makes sense because I feel like all of his images are very line heavy. Like it's like really about the lines, and
Yeah.
patterns and things. And so he just like strips it down and then accentuates it with heavier contrast and works really nicely.
Exactly. Yeah, they're interesting subjects too, so everything that he comes across, it's, they're fresh subjects. You've never seen a photo of that tree before, or the streams or the different landscapes that he's photographing.
They're often super ordinary though, like blades of grass or just boulders, or it's not like exotic plants that are rare and, hard to find. It's just like random ordinary shit you see all the time, but the way he presents it is so creative and pleasing to the eye.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, someone picks out, James, a lot of your work, that Creative February stuff that you were doing, falls along these lines too, where you're, looking for these similar elements that you're seeing out there, like bold, strong graphic shapes, the way they play with their background and such. Like, James just did a whole month of this.
I mean, he was in Japan for half of it, so it's like shooting fish in a barrel out there.
Easy mode.
That's a great phrase. I love that one.
We've all shot fish in barrels. So we know how it is.
Yeah, it's funny.
Very relatable.
Like pushing yourself to do one a day is just like you're sometimes scrambling to find something, on a day. But it's all right.
So not fishing. This one we'll title "Not Fish in a Barrel."
No, this looks hard to put together. So perfect.
I was just looking. I've been like this past week trying to like take images of the ice flow on the Hudson, because it's at the point where it's just starting to break up and flow, and it's pretty cool looking when it flows. So seeing this is just like, oh man, that's really. I went back to photograph one spot today that looked pretty good yesterday. It's just all gone. Like it just, like I didn't think it was going to be gone, but just, oh well.
Yeah, it goes quick. This stuff used to happen out on Utah Lake, which is pretty close to me, but I haven't seen it in years because it's just so warm now, and you don't get enough ice. You need like enough ice to accumulate when it's cold, so that when it gets warm, like it has some time.
And then the wind.
Yeah,
the wind blows
too.
it ashore or something.
Yeah. The wind's got to blow it over.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise it's like freezing, thawing. Like it just doesn't happen the same way. But yeah, we're all familiar with Krister's work and we all are big fans, but I was curious to hear what you had to say about it.
Yeah. I mean, I could have just blindly picked any of his. Been prepared with a full discussion about it, but yeah, it's got the right graphic nature to most of the work, but yeah, as you said, a very line heavy composition is a huge element in all of his work. You can tell that there was some intent with setting up every single shot. Every single thing seems either intentional or well thought out and considered.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, definitely someone to look at.
I think surprisingly nobody has featured Ben Horne yet, or maybe one time. I can't remember.
That's surprising.
You guys just all hate film too?
I feel like we did.
Ben's one shot.
I mean, Brent was Ben Horne.
Yeah, I was Ben Horne for Halloween.
Yeah.
We didn't look at an image of that, and we must have.
No.
So funny.
He's kind of a name I've always assumed someone will feature at some point, so I've kind of just left it for someone to do.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here he is. Another film classic, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys all know who he is, but anyone watching, if you don't know Ben Horne, he's also got a YouTube channel where he walks around in nature.
With a gigantic camera.
Big camera, and yeah.
That sums it up pretty well.
This one caught my eye, though. I mean, I've followed Ben's work and been aware of his work. I've met him in person, and we photograph a lot of the same things in signs sometimes. But every once in a while, he has images that stand out to me as like something extra. And I think any one of us shooting, as you shoot more, there's certain images that you have that kind of, I don't know if you'd realize it at the time, but they stand out. And you're like, oh yeah, there's something special about this image. Maybe it takes other people pointing it out. Maybe you know it. But to me, this one from Ben, it had like I mean, this is all he photographs is mud and trees and rocks, like in Zion. But this one it made me feel like space to it. Even though I'm seeing it as a small size, in a 4x5 little small screen right here, I see this image as massive, maybe 4 feet wide by 6 feet tall, and just with so much space in the flowing lines, it just expanded right away. And to me, that was something special to recreate in a photograph, like just this feeling of space, but using something relatively small to convey that.
Yeah, it definitely has an expansive feeling, probably because like the breathing room between the leaves, and like it is like slightly wider, like I don't know, probably like 70 millimeter, something like that. Not super telephoto, but yeah, it's cool how it's leaves on mud, but you have like the ripples, but then also the ripples all together create this nice sweeping curve. It gives it nice flow. And then you got like the peely dried mud that transitions to the wet stuff, and like 3 different kinds of mud in one scene, but it's still cohesive.
Yeah. There's a lot of directionality to it, which is always
per corner.
Yeah, I think you see that from all 4 corners as well. Like it equally pulls, up and left as equally as it pulls up and right, and kind of keeps you anchored lower right, and it keeps you anchored lower left. But it does that all kind of at the same time.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
The color palette's a good. I mean, that kind of stands out to me too. I mean, you don't see blue. I mean, I guess in Utah you do, depending on where you are, Zion, but you don't see mud.
Yeah, like in the shade, the neutral mud will turn a little bit more blue or purple looking.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's relatively unique to, Utah, or at least the desert Southwest. So if you're not from there, not seeing that, it's definitely
Ours looks more like dog food.
Really punchy, and it's not something that you see in a lot of other places. And I think for me, that was the first thing that stood out about this image. It's like if I saw something like this, why would I photograph it? The first thing is that color contrast between the mud and the green and yellowish leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Very organic feel to it.
Yeah, and it's not forced either. That's the other thing too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you look at all the edges. Nothing seems like there's something poking in from almost every single edge, except for that top left, which is clean and space. To keep that flow going there.
If there were leaves up in the top left corner, it would like enclose it too much. Having it open gives it that flow feeling, like either coming in from there or going out there, like an exit point or entry point.
Yeah, exactly. And so this one, with being familiar with Ben's work, a lot of it is very stationary. A lot of it doesn't have that flow. It may have depth in it, but it doesn't have this flow on this more or less one dimension, this one plane. And in this one, it just felt different and kind of a standout from some of his other work, and thought we should get this one up here.
Yeah, no, it's a good selection. I'm glad you did.
Great.
Good job, Ben.
You done good.
All right, now forcing around, I poured an actual beer. This is a double IPA from Fidens, double Weka, almost Weka hops from New Zealand. 8.5%.
Oh. 0 to 100.
That's how we tend to do things around here. Yeah,
have you had that
that's
one yet,
super good.
Berg?
Well, yeah, because they've done it before, but it was a while ago. So yeah.
How is it? It's looks like hazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very creamy, dense.
2 C's thick.
Yeah, that's nice. All right.
Well, good.
Just give me about 5 more minutes. I'll be a bit more fun.
Yeah, no, for real, dude. You're really freaking lead weight.
Yeah, it was dragging.
Dragging us down.
There's a new name for us.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Jeremy, he's in New Hampshire, right?
Yeah, he's one of your East Coast friends out there.
Yeah. The homie Jay. Yeah, dude, this guy's been like silently putting out fantastic work, like consistently I've been following him for a long time. I'm glad somebody featured him. I've been meaning to.
Yeah. Now he's going to get blown up all over the internet.
Right.
Get an agent. Yeah, man, awesome. I'm glad you featured him because he's a really good dude. I've interacted with him a bunch on Instagram. It's not like he's following 600 or so followers.
Yeah, pretty small account, and he's been, putting out amazing work for I don't know how long, but came across his work previously and then had a chance to reconnect with him and just, thought we should get his work on here too. Like you said, Mike, everything that he puts out is like clean, compositionally sound, like almost in awe, almost every single time, because it's this beautiful rendition of usually a forest scene. He does some other work, but his strongest work is these forest scenes, and I picked this one. I liked the bold composition, like throw a white line directly in half of your photo and compose with that, good luck. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And again, a great color palette, the kind of reddish sort of purplish hues towards the back and the yellow and green stuff in the front. To me, it's striking too to have that white tree and then that much darker tree to the right. Mm-hmm. And then something that's kind of in the middle. I don't know if it's like a sycamore or what that is on the left that's kind of grayish. It's really well seen, I think. Great job.
Every tree's got a lot of different character and kind of make up stories between them.
Yeah, and if you flip through some of his other work, his Instagram is Hansen Prints, but if you flip through, it's just a beautiful gallery of this on repeat. Balanced compositions, really wonderful color palettes. Everything is in harmony. It's not always the soft diffuse light. Sometimes it's using lens flare and using that color that comes off of a lens flare to then balance in the landscape, and just it gives a fresh look to the forest.
Nice. Yeah, I'm stoked to check out more of his stuff.
I'm new to his work. Is it all New Hampshire stuff, or does he travel
mostly around? Yeah, he's he doesn't tag locations that I can see, but I don't remember. His stuff always pops up on my feed.
He's a quieter guy.
Some stuff from Acadia. It looks like he was in Iceland too a while back, but I agree 100% with everything Eric said. That's the perfect way to describe his work. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Jason Pettit. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Kind of similar in a lot of ways. I kind of
praise
when I see either one of their images pop up, I know it's like one or the other. He's a good dude. I'm glad we finally featured him.
Cool. Check him out.
Yeah. I think definitely enjoy.
Is he rolling with film, or is he just out of curiosity?
No, he's digital, I think.
Yeah, I think it's digital too. I don't think it's any film work. I think he prints a lot of his work, but I think he's digital capture. Yeah.
Really cool.
Very nice.
I searched for him, and the first result is a Canadian astronaut. So this must be his hobby on the side.
Yeah, that's also him. Yeah, make sure to follow both of those accounts.
I'm so wasted. I forgot to mention that this is my glass that they gave me from the anniversary this weekend. Brew House.
Oh.
Yeah. It still had like a film of stout and triple IPA on the inside.
Film. It's seasoning.
It's like a cast iron.
Yeah. Never cleaned that. I love their like metal aesthetic they have.
Yeah, the anniversary had a lot of cool satanic stuff.
Nice.
It was a good vibe.
You're like, okay, next photo.
Good safety vibe.
Hi, Joy. Speaking of satanic vibes, hi, Joy.
This tree is pretty metal as well.
Yeah, it's pretty eerie looking.
Yeah.
You could if you just took one of those branches, it'd look like the text or like the font of like a metal band or something.
Yeah. This is interesting.
You guys all know Joy?
Yeah, of course. We featured at least one image from her.
Probably. Yeah, she's been kind of in the spotlight lately, and she's her work's incredible. I am a bit embarrassed to say I didn't know who she was before she was, chosen in the NLPA, and kind of discovered her work through that. But she's wonderful in all regards. Like, if you've heard some of her podcast and her talking, she is joy. She is the happiest,
she seems very positive and stoked, and
yeah.
You're a poser though, man. I knew about her long before that.
I know. I feel that's why I said I'm embarrassed, man, because I
was big into Kachina before it was cool.
Big supporter.
No, I found her in NLPA as well, so I'm also a poser, but very impressed. So many unique subjects that I'm not familiar with, down in Australia, presented in a cool way.
Yeah. So is this a double exposure, triple exposure, quadruple exposure?
I think it is a double exposure. She does a lot of that work. Yeah, a lot of these individual tree studies, calling them characters and, working with double exposure, single exposure. She has some interesting framing as well. She has a pretty long history with photography too. She's coming at this it's not just, the first couple of years of getting the camera and discovering the multiple exposure button. I think she's been a photographer, maybe 35 years or so.
Yeah.
She's coming at this with some depth and some experience, but then also, hearing her as a person behind all of this, she's very eager to tell stories about, these places that she cares about. And yeah, she's doing it in an interesting and authentic way to her. And this is just one of, 10,000 images I could have picked out for her work that they all kind of have that interestingness. It kind of makes you want to learn a little bit more character to him.
Yeah, this looks super intentional. It doesn't just feel like a happy accident. Like, oh, I guess that looks cool, so I'll use that. What I really like about this, and I've said this before with double exposures, I don't ever do them myself just because I'm just not excited about creating them. But when I see other people make them, what I appreciate is when you can't really decipher, like, what is one image and what is the other, like, how they blended them together. What is what, like, this feels in a way just like it doesn't really feel like a double exposure. I can tell because of certain things, like the scale of the lichen just doesn't match the scale of the tree, but it's hard to tell like where one image ends and like where the other begins. And you can't like make out the pieces that made it individually.
Yeah. There's a handful of people out there right now that are doing double exposures really, really fucking well. And like, she's one of them.
She's definitely one. Yeah.
It's so next level. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a whole nother realm of creativity and exploration of the art. I love it. I love seeing it.
Yeah. I think I like to simplify my process as much as I can. So this is kind of like daunting to me, like how many aspects there are to it and how much could go wrong and how much you got to consider. It's like my monkey brain can't handle it, I don't think.
It's like exponentially more complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can get pretty messy pretty quick too. And, then you're stuck with, 50 images of the same tree that all just have slightly variations. And you're like, why am I picking like which one of these looks best? I don't know. Like how to judge which one looks best out of all these? Like they're all kind of bizarre,
Right.
Yeah, that's honestly one of the reasons I don't shoot like moving water very much either, because I just hate ending up with a million exposures of the same thing and having to like pick one. And not a big fan of the process, like all the work it takes, but I like other people's images of it when they do it. So I'll let them do it for me.
Let them do the work.
Yeah.
I love taking the photos of stuff like that, but I agree. It's like afterwards.
So tedious.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do I do this to myself?
I wonder what she's like in the field, if she's doing these with just a relatively few attempts or if she's, ending up with 100 and just spending all day. I don't know.
Yeah. The scrutiny it must take to figure out which one you're going to use just seems so mentally draining.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if there's some sort of process on the front end where she's selecting, which ones to actually make photos of, and going from there.
Right.
But either way, if an image makes you ask these kind of questions, then cool, Yeah,
this image brings up more questions than answers to me. I like that. I'm still confused. Like, I don't get the brown at the bottom.
It's got that feel like it's like when you see like a rotted dead tree and like the inside is kind of like eroded out.
Yeah,
it's kind of what it looks like, but it's like carried over onto the earth, which I think is a kind of a unique idea. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but I mean that's like one of the first things about this image that stood out to me. It's kind of connected.
Kind of looks like
it's in a way, it's like telling a story too. It's like, like here's a tree that's gone through hell, and it's it's tidal pools or tidal flats and.
Yeah, I feel like maybe the background behind the tree was like overcast, overexposed, where it's just like white, or like really pale sky, probably overexposed, like a clear sky. and then the earth. So like overlaying on top of the bark on the background with the pieces of lichen on it, it just naturally changes the color because of what's on top of it. Like one is going to wash it out, the other is going to bring out more contrast and like darken it.
Yeah. And this very well could have been done in the camera the entire process too, because there's some different settings you can do, like the contrast overlay or add or subtract or whatever. But she can get pretty close to this in camera, and I almost wonder if that's a texture of the actual tree, the actual bark that you're seeing,
like the same tree, like a close up of the tree
down there. Yeah.
And then looking, the second image, like looking up, and so anything in the shadow that's not overexposed, all is the actual texture of the tree. Kind of looks like maybe that was part of it, but either way, it gives an interesting look to already an interesting subject in this frame, and it's not so clean and tidy. Like the branches touch the very top of the image. It kind of expands beyond the frame. It's not just tied up in a box.
Yeah. Again, it has that organic feeling that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, because especially like composite stuff or any kind of like multi-image blends, like since you have so much control over them, sometimes like to a fault, you can like make it too perfect, and then it loses that feeling that the subject has. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Feels inorganic.
Like, and with the healing and such too, and healing or cloning. I mean, it's already a chaotic, unrecognizable background in a way that you can do whatever you want to those, and no one's ever going to see or be able to tell the difference. And like, where do you draw that line? Where do you, and what is that, or why do you draw that line? Even, interesting to find out.
It probably just comes down to like feeling, but that's something that she's developed, like you said, over 35 years or whatever she's been doing photography for.
Yeah. So it's a treat to be able to see images, from someone like that when they come with a depth of experience and they have a story to tell or something to say. Yeah, it makes you, again, appreciate images in a little different way than, so good job, Joy. Let's see. This is someone, her name is not widely known. I don't even think she has her website posted on her social media, but some of her images, I don't know if you've featured them before, but they're incredible.
I've never heard of her now.
I neither.
New to me.
Recently, I think her Instagram is Charlotte Tart Arts, if I remember right. But a lot of her work has this
Charlotte Tart Photography.
Charlotte Tart Photography, yeah. I don't know how long, I don't know much about her. It's more of mystery to me, but some of her work is, incredible for someone that it maybe expected like a website or some professional presence. I don't know. She has a lot of really good work though.
Yeah, this is cool. The moon, like the way it's placed, makes the rest of the scene look like clouds and like mountain and land to me. Like it's kind of it's like a riddle almost.
So when I was there in January during that full moon, like I don't know if this like takes away from the image, but people might be interested in like understanding it a little bit better, like how this happened. Like up from Dante's viewpoint, the same thing happened where like if you just isolated the ground, you could just get the moon reflection, and then like the salt patterns and stuff around the shore felt like clouds and stuff. And me and Michael Shaneblum were teaching our workshop and we were like helping our clients shoot that, but it was something that it was like pretty fleeting, so I didn't shoot it myself. But then afterwards, and I was looking at their images, I was like, damn, like that would have been nice to photograph it for myself. But
see, I thought this was like a puddle or like a lake shore, but now that you say it's Dante's view, I'm like, oh,
yeah,
I see that.
Yeah.
If you
super
didn't
telephoto.
Yeah, and if you'd never been to Dante's view, like this would be like, what? You're looking down? Like,
yeah, no, that's wild. Way down. It's like 5,000 feet below you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is like at least 600 millimeters or even cropped in from there a bit.
Yeah, definitely. But, it just exemplified something in her work where it's a level of seeing that you're not going to just normally just see on, your vacation, or you're not going to just go out with your camera and learn photography and maybe all of a sudden pull out images like this.
Right.
It maybe, again, speaks to that a little bit more intention, or a little bit more of spending time at a place and seeing what's actually there instead of just showing up, getting a shot, and moving on. And a lot of her work speaks to that, a little bit deeper intention with it. So I thought it was just a refreshing, newer name. I'm curious to learn more about her work. So Charlotte, if you're watching,
Of course she's watching.
I know. Keep doing amazing work, and we want to learn more. So,
Yeah.
Ditto.
Yeah, I was already following her. So she's definitely, she's got fantastic body of
There's
work.
some mud images in there that are
Yeah. Really. Which it's like hard to
Not
impress
seen that
with
before.
images, right? Like, but she definitely does. Yeah.
Heck, that's awesome.
Good
Wow.
shit.
yeah, some interesting ones. And, again, there's subjects that, we see repeated on, amongst photographers that we follow, and especially in the intimate landscape world, there's certain subjects and themes and styles that emerge. And yeah, it's nice to see someone kind of, I don't know, giving a fresh take to some of these. So
Totally.
I like how she included the earth in the bottom right corner too, because that's something that I probably wouldn't have done myself. Like I would just
Yeah, me neither.
probably just keep clear of that, but it works really well here. So I always like when people do things that I wouldn't think of
yeah,
and make it work, because it just kind of opens my mind to more possibilities and reminds me that there's so many different ways to see something.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she's got a great work. So anyone looking along, watching this, dive in.
What about the land, Brent?
Oh, you mentioned you might not normally include the land. I probably wouldn't either, but now that I see it presented here, it makes me think about, I'm trying to think about why it adds. I was thinking like another dimension of color. It's kind of a parallel line to the one below the moon, which is nice. And maybe just like in terms of visual weight, it's like kind of a nice counterpoint to like the bright moon and the strong shape.
Yeah, it makes the moon feel like less obvious too, like not so on the nose.
Yeah, you're going back and forth with it, between the moon and the earth.
Makes it mimic more of like a landscape too, like mountain ridge, clouds, moon, sky.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's really nice.
There's even a very faint line in the top left that kind of mirrors it.
Another diagonal.
Yeah.
Good job, Brent.
Which I would not have noticed on Instagram. So nice to see it large. Sorry, sometimes when I don't know why I like an image, I have to like super analyze it and be like,
Yeah,
what is it?
it's good practice.
Yeah, you should do that.
I love Harold Lee Jones' work, so glad you featured
So
his
many
stuff.
new names for me. I got a lot of
Oh, you haven't heard of this guy? He's got
No.
awesome stuff. Yeah, amazing desert photographer in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Cool.
Looking him up right now, Harold.
Yeah, this image is fucking sick too. I hadn't seen this one.
Oh, you didn't see that one? I didn't know if that one got shared a lot. I shared it in a story, but I didn't know if anyone else had picked up on that or shared it. But yeah, this is a pretty straightforward and simple image on the surface here. But he was someone that I've only just relatively recently discovered, I would say. But looking through his work, he specializes in New Mexico, and in particularly the White Sands.
A lot of Badlands stuff.
Yeah, and he again, I think his work just speaks to intention to me. What I really enjoy, whether it's this particular image or his greater body of work. Everything that he does is with intention as well. And he has some interesting framings. When you are looking through, when you're out in nature and you're looking for either something to photograph or something, to pop out at you, it would be really easy to walk by this, even though when you're seeing it in an image, you're like, oh, it's obvious. It would be so easy to walk right by that and never even see that. But again, it just speaks to that, I don't know, that intention of wanting to slow down and, spend time looking at all the sand ripples and looking at the next little set of sand ripples. And because maybe there's one that's cool, like they don't teach you that in photography. Like,
Right.
The best dune is always like the next one over. So if you're not seeing anything, the next one over is where you should go.
it has all
true.
the best patterns. But
Cool image though. I love that the top right sand
crescent.
texture. Yeah, that's like what makes it for me. It's like there's so much just in that one little piece. Like without it, it'd be a totally different, much simpler image. It's actually something that, in the image I picked for you, Eric E.
Oh yeah.
That's what makes that image for me, is that there's like one spec that like changes the whole thing for me.
Oh,
We'll get to it. But I love images like that. I think on a competing podcast, F-Stop Collaborate and Listen.
I can't believe you're even mentioning them.
Well, they're way smaller.
I'm gonna bleep that out.
Don't worry.
Too small.
Ridiculous.
Never heard of them.
Matt interviewed a guest where he gave the term a visual haiku, which I really liked, and it kind of stuck in my head. But just like haikus are known for having a turn of phrase at the end that like changes the meaning of everything that came before it. So for me, that little crescent there does that.
Yeah, it's kind of like looks like a little like a moon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel like you could read a lot into this structure and kind of like the whole like pareidolia thing. What I love about this is how like the monochrome. You know, it's all one color. It kind of reminds me of like John Paul Caponegro's work, where he kind of takes these nondescript scenes, and unlike a lot of photography that's out there that's got multiple colors in it, like these images in these frames that are just one color with the slight variations, but still like really stand out. I think it's fascinating. That's exactly what this image is. It's really cool. I think it's my favorite part about this image.
Can
I fucking talk? Jesus.
No. Fuck.
This podcast is
Nobody wants to hear you talk anyway, dude.
Just drink. Come on.
Christ.
Just drink.
Having just been in Death Valley and being out on the dunes like a bunch and looking at all those sand ripples, like every now and then you'll notice something that's kind of different. You'll photograph it, like the lighting or the pattern's a bit more complex or something. But like after seeing all that stuff, seeing this, I really appreciate the actual formation and like the rarity of finding this, where it's like completely smooth and you have these really defined ripples on top of it. Like it kind of seems, it's hard to even like picture how that would have formed that way and not just have ripples all over, It's really cool, like transition image, and just the sand itself it feels super special. So
yeah.
I was doing the same thing. I was wondering how this even happened. I was wondering if this is like the side of a dune and then like some sand trickled downward and then settled like this, or maybe wind blew. But I'm with you on that. I just spent a lot of time staring at sand, and this is like, I mostly found like, patterns that filled the frame. Maybe it's more obvious, but this is like a whole different way of looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got to go back.
Yeah.
Right.
All your moon ones.
I just deleted them all.
But yeah, there's
really cool.
There's infinite ways to photograph dunes, right? But then it's just that intent of like looking a little bit more closely and spending a little bit more time with the subjects. And maybe you would discover something like this, or maybe you would discover something out there that is interesting and kind of a way that you would have never seen before.
Yeah, super nice. Very well presented too. Yeah, I love his stuff. I would definitely check it out. He's got like some of the best Badlands stuff around, and all his work is just really clean, minimal processing.
Yeah.
Super natural looking.
He seems to get out there a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's pretty active. So
exploring a lot of parts of New Mexico that you don't see otherwise.
Yeah. And he takes, he's photographing in a place that's been photographed to death, right? Like White Sands, everyone goes there. But that's why his work continues to be interesting, because he shows maybe the things that you wouldn't normally see on your first trip to White Sands, or maybe you wouldn't see it on your trip to White Sands, but you're getting to see it from someone who's maybe been there 100, 200, 300 times. And he presents, just that one landscape in a fresh way.
You just do a one-handed pour, Mikey?
Sure did.
I couldn't tell who was pouring because everybody's couldn't see hands or.
Dude, yeah, it's a magic trick.
So forget
Opened
that.
up local banger.
Mm.
Keeping it local. Also, probably let me see. Hang on.
Might need an intervention.
Oh no, December. It's not too bad.
That could hold up.
December. Yeah. This might be all right. It looks better. It sure as hell looks better than the Foley brothers that I opened. But anyway.
Yes.
Next time on camera, one-handed pour. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was confused for a
Normally,
second. Thought someone was just playing the audio.
Right.
Soundboard.
No, it's a real thing.
Just looking at a couple of Harold's images there, there's one I'm staring at that I can't tell whether it's sand or snow. Like that's so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the white sand stuff, probably.
Yeah, just revealing different objects. I'm like, be sand. It's awesome.
I think it snowed once down there where he was this winter, and yeah, he had a chance to get out and make some snow images, and I was like, oh, it's a good thing this guy doesn't live in a place where it does snow, because he'd make some fantastic work on top of it.
Putting us all out of business.
Yeah.
You're shooting snow on white sands?
I don't know where. I think just general snow in New Mexico.
Okay.
But yeah, just getting the opportunity to photograph all the landscapes with clean backgrounds like in snow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for someone with his eye and style, like, then the whole world just becomes, photography book to him. So, but yeah, it's cool. So anyone who hasn't seen his work, I mean, browse through, follow along. His compositionally thing, and just does it in a kind of a clean, natural way too, which I respect for his work too.
I'm a big supporter. So,
Okay.
yeah, this might have been one of the first images I ever saw from you, Eric. This is from 2018?
Yeah.
2019?
20, somewhere around there. I think 2020 actually is when I did that. But yeah,
this image is crazy, man.
This is wild.
I just didn't pick this one because I knew someone else was going to. This one's like one of your best.
I got pretty good morning.
Yeah, I love the pointillistic feeling to it, and then the orby, bigger snowflakes are really awesome. On top of that, like it has like really nice layering of texture and detail. It feels super painterly. This is just like a super unique scene. Like it kind of stands out just in the whole landscape photography sphere, I think.
Eric, I remember when you did this, I don't know if you shared the video of it with everybody or just me, but it haunts me to the day. So I'm feeling a little triggered by seeing this image tonight. That was just a really gorgeous moment that you ran into out there.
Yeah, it was a pretty special day too. So this wasn't even technically winter. This was October in Bryce. But it gets super cold there. If anyone who hasn't been to Bryce Canyon, Mike, you got your Bryce Canyon shirt on today there.
I didn't notice you bought that when we were there.
I didn't. I won't get into it. Yeah, I bought it at a gas station on my way out of town out of sheer necessity.
That's nice. Better than Amazon.
Let's get into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I was just I was driving.
Why'd you need an emergency shirt?
Because I spilled Diet Coke all over the shirt I was wearing, and I was like,
"Why were you drinking Diet Coke?"
Because he shit his pants drinking.
Thirsty.
Had to wipe.
Get a blowout, went up his back because.
No, dude, no. That would have been Bryce Canyon sweatpants, but no. So yeah, I spilled Diet Coke all over myself, and I feel like walking through 2 airports looking like I can coordinate my drinking. So there it is, 1999.
Well, there you go, and yeah. So I mean, you can attest for being up there though. Bryce Canyon is usually pretty cold, and this was October. I don't remember exactly what day, but it was earlier in the month, October. But it was 10 below zero that morning, and you can see like a little bit of fresh snow. But I mean, that's literally all the snow that there was. There wasn't snow everywhere, and right after sunrise. Yeah, looking right at the sun, the sky just kind of erupted with this diamond dust pretty much right at the sun. And it lasted for maybe an hour. And so I was able to walk, on the trail, like back and forth and kind of along this whole trail, just photographing random scenes, zooming in, 200, 300 millimeters, photographing random scenes, trying to catch focus on something because it was, you're shooting right into this like pillar of pixie dust, whatever. So it's kind of hard to focus on stuff too. But yeah, over the course of about an hour, kind of had a chance to kind of go along and compose some different scenes based on where I was standing. And it was funny looking at this photo. I don't have duplicates of this one. There are no like extra files. I don't have variations. I have this one because I was, F11, set it like.
Yeah, kept moving.
I shot something and then I saw something else and I moved right on. Like at the moment, it didn't feel like I recognized the layers and the scene and the colors and everything. I kind of knew the effect already. I knew that I'd gotten the focus, but outside it was so bright you can't see or, process anything else. And I was like, I hope I got it. I didn't know I liked this photo so much. Otherwise, I might have shot a couple more frames. Because if that wasn't in focus, there are no other frames to choose from.
Well, I think that also has to do with like what makes it so impressive to me is that it's so incredibly captivating, and yet there is no real distinct geological formation or like really like strong subject, like central focus. The scene as a whole just like pulls you in because it has this really unique atmosphere and feeling and texture and quality to it and everything. And then like that one like dead juniper tree with no needles on it is definitely like probably the focal point or like the anchor, where it is placed and everything. But it's just interesting. Like it's such a subtle scene, but it's very captivating.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's tough to focus, and the technical aspect was tough. I mean, it was essentially, even though it was clear, it was essentially dumping snow in that one frame at 200 or 300 millimeters, and so it's really hard for the camera to actually find anything to focus. And so I was then training my eye on things that stood out in the landscape that had that contrast. Whether interesting tree or some other alignment of maybe a tree and a rock of some sort. In this case, it was the tree plus kind of the color background that worked.
Another thing too that I find interesting is I typically don't enjoy shooting scenes when there's like patchy snow or like just like a really light dust on top of like green stuff, or if I'm shooting snow, I typically like it like blanketed, like very uniform, simplified. And yet this looks really awesome, like just kind of like the powdered sugar, like you can still see all the colors of the soil and stuff, which I think makes this one really interesting. But that's just like another thing where it's just kind of unconventional, I would say.
Yeah, it worked. And I've maybe seen one or two other days where it's been kind of like this, but with different amounts of snow on the ground at Bryce. But yeah, that morning was just special. It lasted for about an hour and was able to compose different scenes from hiking around and, just because you're very limited. You have to photograph, directly under the sun. And so your composition has to work, within those constraints. So you have to physically move and, go a little bit higher, a little bit lower, just to line up something that will actually make sense in the frame. Because otherwise, it's all just like snow and light and gets kind of complex.
Have you guys ever been in a situation where you're shooting front light and the most perfect composition is the one that has your shadow just right through the fucking, and it's just impossible to photograph it without I hate that. Because you go to the side and the lighting and contrast changes just enough. Like you got to be straight on, but then there's your stupid shadow, just
tripod shadow.
Yeah.
6 legs.
Yeah.
I hate those situations. There's no way around it.
Did you say 6 legs, Brent?
Yeah, Jimmy got it.
So did I. It just took me a second. I wasn't expecting that from you.
I'm filling in for Paul here, so
yeah.
I've been there. I was also thinking of this image. I've shot in the snow a fair amount, but not probably not light like this, but like every single frame you take, like where the circles of snow are changes. And another thing, this one could have easily had a gnarly one in an unflattering place that would have totally changed the image. And it all worked out beautifully.
And sometimes that happens, if you're shooting a scene that you're using a little wider lens for, because then those out of focus areas can happen so close to your lens. And this one was with telephoto, so everything that was happening, in the sky was far enough away. Like, I think there was a couple frames that I had where maybe one of those orbs, the balls, whatever, maybe occupied like a 25% of the frame, 50% of the frame, but
too much.
Yeah, most of them were far enough in the distance that stayed relatively small, so you can kind of keep on shooting a lot. But yeah, if you're in a condition while it's actually snowing and using flash, or if you're in some really strong backlight during snow, yeah, you got to watch out for that too.
I was just going to ask I assume this is all natural light, right?
Yeah,
like I have seen those flash
backlight.
I have seen those like flash photos people do in the snow, and this almost looks like it, which is kind of amazing, honestly.
Yeah, this one, again with telephoto, this was like maybe 8 or 9 in the morning. So I mean, that tree was a couple 100 feet out there in front of me, out in the distance. So yeah, there's no fill light or anything like that.
Cool.
Sick.
But yeah, it's a fun one.
It's really amazing. Nice to hear your thoughts about it.
That was the same day.
Interesting.
It looks similar, yeah.
Really?
Similar
Wow.
geography.
Yeah.
This is the one that I chose that I was talking about earlier.
Okay.
It stuck out to me. I think for me, it's the kind of like, I see an echo pattern or shape. You see like from the curved branch in the foreground to the curved light, one step back from it to another line of light, which is really cool. And then for me, the thing that makes it is the last line of light that like totally balances out the entire frame. It's pretty cool. Like, it's such a subtle detail, and to go off of what you were saying before, this looks like an image that was taken by someone that's been to Bryce Canyon like 300 times. This is not your first visit.
About right. Yeah. No, thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, and interesting to know that we just looked at that other image, same morning. I mean, I would have to look at the metadata, but I probably within the same hour as that other image.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I would have never guessed. I mean, that snow must have been so localized.
Yeah, I mean, when you're not looking directly at the sun, you didn't see that diamond dust effect. And outside of that, I mean, there was some snow and crystal in the air because it's still cold. It was like 10 below zero, but you didn't get that effect in the camera then.
So yeah, you're using like the same environment and light in two different ways, and the photos are totally different.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, just interesting. This, I would say the only thing to say with this image is Bryce Canyon is a place where, like, if you like these kind of images where there's a little bit more to dissect, or on the finding them side, it takes, you got to look around a little bit more closely. You can't just be preoccupied with like the biggest and best view, because I mean, looking the other way is pretty spectacular from this spot, but you have to also, look at these smaller scenes, and when you start doing that, the landscape of Bryce plays with light super interesting, and it's just fun. Yeah.
Cool.
So what was it about this image that made you want to make it? Like, what was it? The light? Was it
because it's awesome, Mikey? Obviously.
No, I know. I'm trying to get inside his head.
A couple different things. It has this like elevator effect, of the light kind of pulsing up and to the left. You're seeing like a curved light, a line of light, and then a little splash of light in the top left corner there. The rest of the scene is pulling a different way. You can feel the direction of light. And I thought that it just had an interesting balance, like, repetition of the curve, the play of the curve versus a straight line. Dead center in the frame, there's one tree in the light, one tree in the shadow. Just some really interesting and simple contrast, but it plays on multiple levels throughout the image. And so it just kind of instantly of like, mostly the curve versus line effect.
Yeah.
Light.
There's a kind of parallel between that branch and the branch that's coming off to the left of that first tree, and then that arch of light. Yeah. Which is kind of cool. But when I very first looked at this image, looking to the left, on the left side of it, it tracks up. Like it looks like it's going up. But then the right side, the part of the sand or the ground going like up against that cliff wall there feels like it's going down. So it's like you got this juxtaposition of directionality to it that's really cool and like really unique.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah,
like it feels like that sand because of the smaller rocks and stuff, and obviously it's downhill. I mean, it's a hill, but it feels like things are going down that hill, whereas on the left it feels like things are just tracking up, probably just because of the arch of that ridge there, and then the light too. It's just, I don't know, it's just kind of a cool effect that immediately stood out to me when I first saw that. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it reads that same way for me too.
Yeah, and something
really
it's super easy to overlook, and if you're putting yourself out there in that landscape on that trail, knowing that these other conditions are going on around you also, it would be hard to see this, I think. And it would be hard to, allow your eyes to also be looking for these kind of scenes as opposed to just 400 images of sparkle dust,
Yeah.
I always love seeing those like little strips of light you get like on when the sun's setting behind like rims of canyons and stuff. Like I never get tired of that.
Or like when it happens like inside a canyon and it like hits the wall, starts bending and kind of move. You can almost like see it move and right in front of you. It moves that fast.
Super fast. Yeah.
But yeah, just a fun image from Bryce, and
Great choice, Brett.
Very good.
Sounds super crazy.
I was gonna choose this one too, but I figured somebody else was going to. And then sure enough, Jimmy came through with it in the last second.
I didn't get down to the golden dust one. This one stopped me. So, and yeah, I think it's just because I've been dealing with winter for a long time now. But this one is just really pretty wild because it reminded me of a few different things. A mountain peak with snow blowing over the peak of it. In the upper half of it, and then the lower half is just like, oh wait, that's not what that is. So, but it has a very atmospheric kind of mountain range vibe to it on the upper half, and then and the leaf contrasting the sharp angles of the ice is just, it's really good, man.
Yeah, it's a very interesting combination of things, like having the leaf on the blue ice with like the hoarfrost type crystals around it, and then the snow behind it that is like has some layering to it, and then the triangular shape up at the top. Like it's just kind of a lot of different things going on, but the way you framed it makes it really cohesive. It's really cool. I feel like when I see this kind of stuff, I just tend to simplify it a lot, and I'd probably just zoom in on the leaf with the nice blue backdrop and like accentuate the hoarfrost on it. But the way you included its environment in such an interesting way is really impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I don't have a lot to add about that image. Those are all kind of things that I look for. I mean, yeah, James, man, this is right up your alley, right? Like this is all you've been looking at for 2 months.
I don't think it's gonna stop.
6 months maybe. Yeah, just the interesting designs, in snow, and I think maybe touching on a little bit of earlier about what does photography mean to me, maybe that it can also say things beyond what's in the actual photo. Like there isn't a mountain in this photo, but we think that, we feel that, we see winter mountains.
Yeah, the suggestions.
Yeah, that power of suggestion photography, that power of illusion, that power of like making you think of something that's even in the actual photo is a pretty amazing aspect of photography. And trying to see it and experience that for myself in nature, and look for more examples of these things that within you frame it in a certain way. Maybe it has a meaning somewhat beyond the frame to someone else, like, or to you. Yeah. At a different time. Like this was just an example of that, of something. Yeah, I'd been by this spot numerous times. It was somewhere where I knew about, but one day I just wanted to I wanted to spend a little extra time and see if I could make an image from this certain area. And ended up making one.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really nice how the triangle and then the shoreline of like the hoarfrost line up, and how it curves like that and has more space on the left side. Like it just balances it out really nicely.
Yeah.
This image is getting like two things that I've been like low key obsessed with in photography lately, which is first like subtle light. Like, I don't know, just for some reason, images that I've been seeing lately that just have these very like subtle areas of light, not like super harsh contrast light or anything like that, just very subtle. It's just very, I don't know, it's very aesthetic and appealing to me. And there's just a little bit of light cutting across. To me, it seems like it's coming from the right to the left side of the image. Mm-hmm. So I love that. And then the other thing too is just the kind of blue color, palette, like the variations of color blue is just something that I've been playing with in my own like photography. Obviously, I've been shooting winter a lot lately for the past few months, and then I've been seeing it and noticing it in other photographers' work. That's just I don't know. It's just fascinating to me. Just like same scene could have these like 4 or 5 different shades of blue, and it's all really the same thing: snow and ice and water. And it's just, I don't know, it's just fascinating to me. And this image kind of has all of those elements to it, in addition to the shapes and all that too. So it's really well done.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. You can see why maybe I chose that one of the Charlotte Arts, or Charlotte Tart's photography there, because it has that. If you flip it upside down, it has that same kind of left layered appeal. Instead of the moon, it's the leaf, but yet there's these tone differences. At kind of a 45-degree angle, and something like I see that in other people's work that I'm drawn to, but something that, just kind of pick up on in my own work, that like maybe some of these layering effects. That day I remember it was obviously really cold. It's been cold for a while. The hoarfrost had been forming really nicely. I'd been kind of noticing that it was a kind of an optimal time to start photographing some either hoarfrost pattern or at least get some texture in the snow.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, but thank you.
Is this like mountains? Like, is that an aspen leaf, or is this like in the desert?
Yeah. This is up in the mountains. This was actually up by Park City.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so no aspen leaf.
So you're over here and you didn't hit me up. Nice.
I didn't hit anybody up.
Right in my backyard.
Nice. Yeah, so I pulled this image. Like I really would have loved to have just highlighted the entire gallery that this came from. This was I think your kind of like headline image for that gallery. But like all of the images in this gallery were just absolutely fascinating to me. The kind of, duality of them, the abstract nature, obviously not really clear as to what any of them are or how you made these images, which is just freaking right up my alley, dude. I loved it. I love the entire gallery, and this image is just one of the 10 or so they've got in there that are just killer.
Yeah, this one, I have this one on the cover. It's titled Lizard. I don't share much about that with the whole series. It's a look at the skyline in Zion, one of the most visited national parks and definitely highly photographed, but looking at it in a little different way, looking at the skyline, through photography, and it started as kind of just out of curiosity, but kind of led through a series of work that I was excited about. I went out specifically to Zion so many times, just looking for scenes that would fit, and experimenting in different ways, with this series. So it changed how I saw that landscape in that place. And it changed how I kind of view it, moving forward too. But there's a lot of different angles on it.
So this was the first image you made of this like mirror flip horizon stuff that you do?
It was not. This wasn't the first one I made of it, but it's the one that is like the first one in the portfolio. Okay.
How did you come up with that idea? Like, where did that come from?
There was a day. It was up in Kolob. I was up on Kolob Terrace one day, and it had just snowed in the park, and it was kind of a day where there was a lot of clearing going on. The storm was clearing, clouds lifting. You could start to see like different peaks and layers, and everything was just swirling and in motion. And I was sitting at a spot where I had a good vantage, using telephoto, compressing some layers, And I was seeing all these interesting designs, from the rugged skylines that were, in Zion, then to the swirling clouds and the different shapes that are with them. And I'd been photographing for like maybe an hour, and I was just like, okay, how many more clouds and like Zion photo? Like, I think I've got enough. And so I remember sitting there, and I was like, I wonder what this would look like, because there was one formation that kind of stood out at this time that had some cool clouds with it. And I was like, I wonder what it would look like if I, inverted the second image on top of that. Like, the design in the landscape and the clouds is already amazing. I wonder, what else can come from that. So I made one, and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Like, I didn't really know it at the time. I only made the one image, and it was probably a couple months went by before I made another image. But yeah, it started just out of curiosity. And then I remembered that when I was up in Zion a second time, and I discovered I was actually accidentally shooting on JPEG that day. And I was like, oh God, so had missed a few other shots. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to commit to this. If these are all just JPEG shots, let's have some fun. And then I remembered this series, and I was like, let's try, lock in a few of these as JPEGs. And I made maybe 2 more images that day. But that was just out of, a place of having fun, remembering this series, which then, led on to then more intention, and led on to going out and trying to find these, seeing these. Yeah. And then ultimately putting them together.
So
is this in camera?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, in camera.
So you're taking a photo and you're turning the camera upside down and photographing the same scene. Like, how are you?
Yeah. So everything is in camera there. You can, with different ways, you can either line it up inside the viewfinder and keep like prominent features, aligned with certain parts of the circle.
Yeah.
Or if you're using on mirrorless, you can flip it over and actually see the overlay and find the overlay like that. Sometimes if it's just a viewfinder, you're just kind of making your best guess, or you're lining up. Like in this case, there was one intentional area and one obvious area where when you're overlaying them, it becomes darker. And then the rest of the scene wasn't being overlaid. So I knew nothing was going to be dark there. And then it was just a matter of fine tuning a couple shots till one of them kind of achieved the right graphic design or balance that you saw.
Nice.
Yeah, all in camera, not edited very much at all, actually. Pretty straightforward on the editing.
Yeah. Wow, fascinating. I love it.
The effect is really cool.
That one's just a wizard.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anybody else doing these kinds of scenes.
No.
I hope not. And send me their number.
I was curious, Eric, like you talked about images being sometimes more than what you see, like have another meaning. For you, is it ever like emotional or expressive? Like, are you trying to express certain emotions with your work, or is it more aesthetic? Like these things just look cool and interesting.
Not necessarily trying to express any emotion, so to say, but I think with the understanding, or at least on my own behalf, my understanding of being out there from a place of positive mindset to begin with, you might be already looking at images that maybe have elements of like awe, wonder, joy, amazement, kind of things on the positive spectrum versus maybe something on the heavy side of the spectrum of like, the duality of life, or death and decay, or hope and despair. I'm not actively out there like seeking these things. I think I'm more receptive to the any elements that are on that positive part of the spectrum of like, anytime you're out in nature and you're like, wow, or you have this sense of curiosity come up, or you're like, whoa, look at that mud puddle. Like those kind of moments, I would say are maybe on the happier side of.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Like your work's very like mysterious looking to me. Like I have no idea like what you're thinking, and that's cool. And like to hear,
what was he thinking?
to hear that like there's like a happy, fun, positive.
He's very playful
mindset behind it. Like it kind of changes the work, which is like,
well, too
it's
playful
interesting.
Sometimes.
So I'm going to relook at your work with like a different perspective. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah, I try to be. I mean, I find nature to be a place of like infinite just wonder and awe, like you can wander around on a frozen field of snow with some shadows, or you can be in the forest, or you can just walk around on snow dunes, but like, I mean, not snow dunes, sand dunes or snow dunes. But just be in awe of where you are, and like, it's amazing when you make images from that space, then you have no control of what someone else is going to gather from your images, right? And you can kind of set them up on a certain trajectory, I think, if you are making them from like a place that you're excited about or an emotion state that you're excited about. Like, I think that some of that is transparent in photography.
Yeah.
This scene is so nice, man. Just like the pristine quality and then the long shadows and the lighting and the placement and everything. It's just so easy to look at, and I really love this one. This was one of the first ones I picked out.
Very Japanese, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
very soothing to look at.
Yeah,
but apparently I don't have to
soothing.
go to Japan to shoot this, so
No, just come to southern Utah.
whenever it snows again.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We don't do winter anymore here. No, thanks, Eric. This scene, I made a few images that day. It was a fun little evening. It was more of just like spending some time. It was in this open area. There was like 5 or 6 feet of snow on the ground. We were on snowshoes and just had a chance to kind of wander around and spend time looking at shadow, looking at the different ways the shadows kind of overplayed the landscape, and kind of walked around the edge of the forest, kind of late afternoon, and ended up making a few images that I was happy with. And
really gorgeous. Yeah, it's like the surface of the snow is so smooth as well. Sometimes it like gets clumped onto the trees and then leaves like golf ball size holes all over the place.
Yeah.
Right. There were some animal tracks around the area too, so I had to play around with some of that in composing scenes, because there had been I think it had snowed a couple days before that, so it had settled just a little bit, but it had given enough time for the critters to be out there. And so there were some tracks, to contend with in the backgrounds.
Yeah,
isn't Utah known for having like dry, fluffy snow?
Was back in the day. It hasn't snowed once this year where I live. Yeah.
We're supposed to be in record highs this week.
Yeah, this is the hottest winter we've had in 100 years.
That's crazy, because this is one of the coldest we've had in, I don't know,
quite
a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, from middle of December-ish to beginning of February, I don't think we got above like 20 degrees.
That's
Not much. Like 25.
Stayed at my house for like a week straight when it was like the highs were like -10.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's restorative.
No, I was going nuts.
I think I got a tan in January in Zion.
Yeah, it's been like 70s here.
Yeah, we had an epic summer this winter.
You get like a really even tan with reflected light. Like
Get that nice orange. That
that's how you get the bronze. The light is bronze. That's how.
Yeah, this one's just so nice, man. Just a classy, clean scene here.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, and it's maybe there's a little style that I like to incorporate in some of my work too. That that's pretty deliberate, chopped off the top of all of those. Mm-hmm. But I kind of ask myself,
it emphasizes the shadows more.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, it pulls your attention back down, and like, do you know what the top of a tree looks like? Like, you probably do. It's a little bit of redundant information, and it pulls your eye down and like, oh yeah, I can see the tops of the trees, but they're in the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And it builds this little bit of contrast of, yeah, you can see the tops of the trees, but not, I guess not so clearly.
Yeah, so good, man. Love this one.
Yeah, great image.
There's another one I remember too. Like when you posted it, I was like, God, this son of a bitch. He's on a roll.
Similar condition, but yeah, different.
Can't keep getting away with this.
Dude, that was another. I've never seen it. This was at sunset, actually.
Is this a single exposure?
Yeah. Yeah, single.
No shit. Is it really?
Fuck you.
This was,
Are you serious?
yeah, this was at Bryce Canyon also, but not the same day. Completely different day.
You really blew it when you were out there, Mikey.
I know.
Did you go to Bryce Canyon? No.
Yeah.
we went in November.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys went and you didn't call Eric? You were in his neighborhood?
I didn't even know he
I don't
even
think
had
he was there,
Instagram. I didn't have a phone number.
Yeah.
Yeah,
changed his
homeboy dropped
number.
off the face of the earth.
Lots
I
of
didn't have any way to
excuses.
contact him.
They didn't.
But you weren't there then, right? Didn't you say you just moved to Lake Escalante?
I was probably not there when you guys went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just giving you shit.
Yeah. But no, this was even though it was at Bryce Canyon, I mean, I was up at, I don't know, I think it's Sunset Point, and it was not really doing anything for sunset. And I was just up there by myself that day. And I was like maybe just looking to see if like any of the hoodoos caught interesting light or something. And then I was like going to wrap it up and call it a day. And all of a sudden it just started dumping snow for about 10 minutes, just dumping the fattest flakes you've ever seen. And then the sun broke right at sunset. So I'm sitting there up at Sunset Point. It's absolutely backlit yellow snow, like with the forest right there in front of me. I mean, it was just perfection, like it without the camera, just straight in front of my eyes. And it was almost like it was hard to figure out like what to actually like photograph. How do you make an image? It was all happening so fast. It erupted out of nowhere. Then it was a matter of like, spending a little time figuring out what makes, what put in a composition, how to use it effectively, how to like make something a little more unique out of it. But yeah, you got 10 minutes to do it, and it's like go, 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 go.
You made a couple images, didn't you? There's another one that's similar to this
Yeah.
that I like too.
Yeah, kind of one like this with the more illuminated tree on the left, and a couple other ones where that illuminated tree is more in the upper right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where does the yellow come from? Is that are there still leaves on the
sunlight,
trees?
low golden light hitting the snowflakes.
Yeah. So
He just explained it. He just took us through it. Like,
But it just, I don't know. It just doesn't.
well, like
But
look
then
at the
there's-
big
there-
like Boca one that like gives it away.
Yeah, no, I saw that one.
The
Yeah,
other ones
but
that are
like,
smaller. It does look like fall foliage with snow on it though.
right.
But like if you look at the trunks of the trees, those
Yeah,
is it piss? Is it piss droplets there?
It's definitely aspirated piss.
I mean, yeah.
It was really windy. If you
Might be
just
on this
piss into the wind, like on a winter day, you can make this image. Yeah, just piss straight.
Yeah, it's super crazy.
Yeah. So Mike, like when up at Bryce, like it's all the viewpoints are pretty elevated. And when you look back to the west, the sun is almost like directly, at 0 degrees, if not a little below you. So the sunset, that last 5 minutes of light when it shoots across is, you don't usually see that hitting snow. And then to be in a backlit scenario, just created, I've only seen this like a couple times ever in nature, this like intense backlit snow. Because usually if it's snowing that hard, it's not sunny.
Yeah, no sunlight.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That light is divine. It looks incredible.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, super finalist, painterly feeling to it.
If I had bet that this was a multiple exposure, I would have lost a lot of money.
Yeah, me too. I would have been like, yeah, sure.
I was like, yeah, I'll put my house on
401k.
this.
Yeah. So it's definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
James,
awesome.
this is another one. If I like could see the video of it, you'd be like, yeah, it looks fake. Like, because it's all moving from left to right too. The snow isn't falling straight down; it's moving from left to right, and so the whole thing is like backlit, glowing, and then moving.
Oh my god!
Because there's a little bit of a wind, and and then 10 minutes later, done, gone, nothing.
Yeah, so good.
Some of those moments are tough that are so incredible and rare that like you don't think anyone will believe you, or if they like see a photo of it, they would just think that you messed up somehow. Like,
Yeah.
I remember like yeah, if you've ever seen light like around a tornado, it's like green and yellow and really, really weird. If you took a photo of it, people would be like, this guy messed up his camera settings.
Yeah, exactly. Because then you got to put some context in there to show like the scale of it or something. And then, oh, did you fix it? Did you edit it? You know, what'd you do to it? But yeah.
If you go out enough, you'll start to see some crazy shit.
I think the hard part, is then, not just recognizing crazy conditions or, putting yourself in those conditions, but the factor, you have limited time, number one, like limited time to let it even have an emotional impact on you, let alone, try to compose something, or then, what do you compose? Are you photographing a tree? Are you photographing the whole scene? Like, do I have time to change lenses? Do I have time to go to this other spot? Like, no, you need to go. And so instinct takes over. And I think that's what sometimes, like in photos, when they have interesting conditions, you're seeing a lot of instinct from the photographer, because there's, all of us know, like, you're out in cool conditions, like, it doesn't last long. Like, go, go, go.
You got to get while the getting's good.
Yeah, exactly. There's no sitting around and contemplating life, writing in your journal,
Find the meaning afterward.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, be fully immersed in the experience and then find the meaning afterward. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a great point.
Eric, what are you thinking? You're laughing to yourself there. That's not good.
No, I was just picturing like seeing something amazing, like, oh, I'm gonna write about this, and you look up and it's just gone. Like,
it's kind of refreshing though, because I feel like that's what, like, you listen to like other podcasts or whatever, and that's what people are always talking about, shit like that, and it's like, no, like, when the shit's going off, like, you gotta be on point. Fucking do the mental masturbation later, like.
And the other kind.
Yeah, that too.
This light did not last long enough to think.
No.
Yeah, so I see a bit of that, when I like looking at work from other photographers, like, because I can tell, like, you can put yourself in those positions and, like, wow, they were thinking quickly, acting quickly. Like, you need to know your camera, you need to know your settings, and it's like pure instinct takes over. And when they can still make incredible work, coming from that, I find that super inspirational. So, I mean, anytime where I have like a remote chance of coming across something cool like that, I definitely keep that in mind and take advantage of it.
Yeah, it's really cool to hear more about this one, especially. I mean, all of these, it's been insightful and interesting, but yeah, it's awesome because I think a lot of people would look at these images and not know right away what kind of lighting you shot it in, what kind of conditions, how you did it.
Yeah.
All this stuff that you're revealing. So super fascinating.
No, thanks.
Eric, do you look at art outside of photography a lot? Like other mediums?
I try to. It comes and goes in waves. I like looking at painting a lot. I think like paintings, different styles, not just impressionism, also like the different movements of paintings, but at different points in painting history. Because I think a lot of the same characteristics come out, like where they say, especially if it's plein air, just the planting their easel in a certain place shows so much intention. They're literally locked in, like that tripod painting. That photographers would have a tough time with that level of commitment, I would say, to one scene. We might want to explore the area. We might want to look around a little bit more. We might want to test some variations in painting. If they do that, they did it before. They didn't do it after or during that process. And so I when I look at it like painting, I think like they went through this whole process of selecting a scene, a location, a light, of something to choose from before they ever actually even painted anything. And I think that brings a lot to photography of just, with our intention of why we're doing what we're doing, where we're doing it, when we're doing it, how we're doing it. And painters have that intention pretty locked in. I find it inspiring.
Yeah, I can see that. I think it really does come through in your work. I think more so than a lot of other photographers out there. There's a kind of an impressionism, like you said. There's also a little bit of abstract expressionism in your work as well too. It's really apparent. Like that's why I'm not surprised. It does come through, which I think is awesome. You know, I mean that's great to be able to convey that, you know, photographically.
Yeah. No, thanks. I wish I'd studied more art history. Looking back, I wish I would have done that. But
Yeah.
try to keep myself informed and look at other artists, and Instagram's great for that too. I mean, get carried away by looking and following some other photographers and other types of art that maybe aren't within your mainstream. So
yeah.
Are you still shooting with that little pinhole film camera you made at all?
Yeah, sometimes I was a little while ago, and I've actually started shooting with that again somewhat recently. Yeah.
You just enjoy that it like is just completely different, just to change up the process. And
absolutely. Yeah. It's like the simplification of everything with photography.
Yeah.
You know, better speed, no composition. Like it's literally just time. Like composition it's intuitive. There's no viewfinder.
Yeah, you can't look through there's no viewfinder. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I absolutely that's part of some personal project work that I've been working on and starting to shoot with that camera and creating some stuff. So yeah.
Nice.
Getting back into that, and we'll see what else in the future. Haven't really locked in on any other way that I want to continue shooting. So we'll see.
Nice.
Anything you're looking forward to right now?
Looking forward to seeing it.
Oh yeah, no thanks, James. Looking forward to getting this other aspect of photography business that I've been working on, kind of in the background, getting that rolling and working with a few other photographers to kind of get this rolled out. It's a different concept. It's a little similar to maybe I would say like Santa Fe workshops, if you're familiar with what they do. It's a similar approach to that, but based out of Utah.
Sounds cool.
I love it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I love that you're even trying to do like business stuff differently than other people and offer something unique and create something fresh. Yeah,
trying to. And I mean, the goal is, to, I think a lot of people have been on workshops and a lot of people have been, to certain locations and traveling and doing things. And maybe they find themselves in a place where maybe they need to take a break, or maybe they're in a creative rut, or maybe they're looking to do something, combine their work more meaningfully to them moving forward. Like what does the next 15 years of their photography look like? Because the first 15 years looked like this. What do we do for the next 15? And helping people along those lines, whether it's finding a new subject, a new camera, a new style. Yeah, just new form of expression, or maybe working on things that they already knew how to do and just want to kind of apply those in a different way. Yeah, working on kind of a business and workshop model that revolves around that.
Cool.
So you might hear from me. I might contact you. We'll see.
Yeah, sure.
We'll see how this goes.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to, I would say that's my main focus of being here. And it's been a hell of a ride the past year, that's for sure. But feels good to reconnect and be refocused.
Glad you're back.
No, thanks, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome to see your stuff again, and look forward to seeing new stuff whenever you post it. No pressure. You don't need to make new stuff if you don't want to.
I'm not, it's not. I
like it.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like the pressure with photography is completely gone.
Nice.
Yeah. Feel none. No pressure whatsoever.
It's liberating, isn't it?
Yeah. I feel like more creative free right now than ever in my life. So yeah, it's time to start creating in that space. So.
Cool.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks for the heads up, because now we know when to sell our cameras. So.
Oh. It's gonna be good. Dude, you have no idea, Jim. So after taking a little break, don't try to jump into editing again, because you'll feel like a 5-year-old and be like, I'm so rusty on just the basics of editing, and like you'll go through things like, how was I quick or how was I fast at this? Like,
Yeah, it's brutal. Even after a week, it's just like
Jimmy always struggles
constantly. Like, where's the map? Like, how do I?
Feel like I give up. I'm just gonna do Snapseed. I give up.
Yeah. Filter check gone. Instagram filters. That's it.
Perfect.
Hey Brent, what's up? What's
What?
that like vase thing in the background? It's like a urn from like a old pet's
This?
ashes or something. Or what is that?
No, my dad just gave it to me. He bought it in Greece in the 1970s when he was there with the Navy and forgot that he had it. And he's like, here, check this out. My parents are pretty lame and boring. And like, this is like the coolest thing he's ever had. I was like, so I'm pretty stoked about it.
Nice. That's your inheritance.
Yeah. He's not in it, to be clear. It's
So when you start, when you're like my dad, I was like, oh man,
No,
I think this conversation's about to take a bad turn.
He's still alive and kicking. And then next to that is my thing from Japan. It's a little like woodcut shrine thing from my travels there.
Cool, man. Got some new trinkets for the office.
Couple little trinkets.
Yeah.
Oh, I used my knife for the first time tonight. That thing was insane.
Oh, you haven't used it until now?
No.
Like a chef's knife?
Yeah, it was so
Sweet.
nice.
Did it move?
Yeah, sure did. I was like, damn.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a whole experience.
That thing
using
was
this.
crazy.
I
Yeah.
would have been using my new one like crazy.
Yeah.
Use it for everything, just cutting random shit in the house.
Yeah, right. Amazon packages.
Yeah. Cool, Eric. Well, it was awesome to have you on. Thanks for making the time and being flexible with us.
man.
And
No, thanks for the invite, man. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
look forward to hanging out with you soon. I'm going to be down there in like a week with like Paul Bowman, Michael Bellino, Alex Jones, Matt Redfern, Sho Hoshino, and Mark Davis are coming out. So
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
be cool to meet up.
Are you guys just hanging out, or do you guys have a workshop going on?
No, we're just going out shooting because Mark Davis and Sho Hoshino have never been over here before. So
Oh man, yeah,
once they were coming over, the other guys wanted to come meet up too. And
that's awesome. Yeah, I'd love to meet up. He's a cool guy. I thought about featuring one of his images here, but I was like, I guarantee you've had him on or featured his work a few
Sho
times.
Hoshino?
Well, him, but also Mark.
Oh yeah, we had Mark
Mark's
on
been
as a
on a bunch.
guest, and
Yeah.
he's been a co-host, and we featured his stuff. He's got enough airtime, more than he deserves.
Exactly. Yeah, he's a cool guy. I'd be interested in meeting up with him.
Yeah. Just give me your number and I'll text you and keep track of our whereabouts.
We'll do. Yeah, I'll be around here mostly this for the foreseeable future. So
Sick. Yeah, it's a
Guy
good spot.
Tall is-
So
Guy Tall is retiring, so got to look after the hood. So no.
cool, man. All right. Well, yeah, it's good chatting.
boys.
Have a good rest of your evening.
Yeah, likewise.
Cheers, everybody.
Great
Cheers,
picks.
bud.
Cheers. Happy shooting.
Until next time.
Till next time, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah.